Jai Shri Shri Gauri Pai Ki Jai. Radha Gopinath Ki Jai, Radhedesh Ki Jai, Radha Govardhan Ki Jai. Jaya Baladev Radhamani Ki Jai. Jai.
Give a jai ho, jaya gora chande, arati ko shobha.
Kiva Jaya Jaya Gora Chande Arati Ko Shobha.
Shiva jai ho, jaya gora chande, arati ko shobha.
Kiva Jaya Pakistan, sorry, Prabhupada, Ki! His called Farmer Church, should have heard that. His divine grace, AC, Pakistan, sorry, Prabhupada, Ki Jai. Jai, oh, we should love Prabhupada, sorry, Prabhupada, Church, Satan, Shima, Pakistan, sorry, he goes, sorry, Prabhupada, Ki! And not the Koti Vaishya, the Ki! Navachara Sriharya Thakur Ki. Praise the Lord, Shri Kitsi Chaitanya, Jananda Sri Vedic, Radha, Shivasari Gaurav, Shri Shiva Krishna Govardhan, Sama Govardhan, Guru Govardhan. Radhadesh Ki, Navik Ki, Jagannathpuri Ki, Radhadesh Ki, Gangame Ki, Yamuna Ki, Bhakti Devi Tulasi Maharani Ki, Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki, Nitya Gaura Premanandi. All glories to Sam Lord. All glories to Sam. All glories to Sam. All glories to Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Shri Prabhupada.
I want that song.
Do you want to sing it? Can you sing it?
I
You want to play that one? It's just you know.
Manufactured.
Artificial.
I don't know. Do they know?
Of course. Oh. Well, I think the kirtan just kind of frightened Rick. He's sitting in the corner going, great energy. Whew.
It sounds like temple is full.
It does, that sounds like it's full of people. It's what you said yesterday, there's so few people still making it.
Just like this. Earlier in Rotterdam was like this, but with full.
There's some classes now.
Yeah, we're going to read a Krishna book. Read Rotterdam. Was there a temple there? Huh? You were there. You were there in Rotterdam. What were you saying in Rotterdam?
Yeah, years ago, the fight.
The what?
The fight.
The vibe, like that. That young energy, yeah, cool. Yeah.
The neighbors called police.
You see, that's a good sign. That's a very good sign.
I was doing that today rather than 1.4. Talking about tank acid.
Yeah.
And you're talking. So when our Krishna conscious movement is checked by authorities, it means it has potency.
We're doing something right. So thank you for coming, and we're now going to read from Krishna book, and we can do what back to Rick, Kaishava. They'll come along. So before we do a little reading, we sing Krishna, 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 Krishna. So if you'd like to sing that, and I'll get Kaishava's book. It should be there.
I should have known words, but I always get them mixed up.
Hare Krishna, much easier.
Krishna, 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 Krishna. Krishna, 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 hey.
Krishna, 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 hey.
Krishna, 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 Krishna. Krishna, 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 hey.
Oh. Krishna, 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 hey.
Krishna, 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 Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Rakshama.
Krishna, 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 Rakshama.
Krishna, 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 Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Vahima.
Krishna, 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 Vahima.
Rama, Raghava, Rama, Raghava, Rama, Raghava, Rakshama.
Rama, Raghava, Rama, Raghava, Rama, Raghava, Rakshama.
Krishna, Keshava, Krishna, Keshava, Krishna, Keshava, Pahima.
Krishna, Keshava, Krishna, Keshava, Krishna, Keshava, Pahima.
Krishna, 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 hey.
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 Krishna, 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 Krishna. No, that's your mom.
Krishna, 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 Rakshama. Right. So back to Rick and Kaishava will be joining us shortly, I'm sure. We don't want to miss this. So we're reading from page 422, I believe. And we're halfway down the page. So thank you, Srila Prabhupada, for giving us this Krishna book. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After a while, Krishna fulfilled his promise to visit Akrura at his house. Akrura was in relationship with Krishna as his servitor, and Krishna wanted to get some service from him. He went there accompanied with Lord Balaram and Uddhava. When Krishna, Balaram and Uddhava approached the house of Akrura, Akrura came forward, embraced Uddhava, and offered respectful obeisances, bowing down before Lord Krishna and Balaram. Krishna, Balaram and Uddhava offered their obeisances in turn and were offered appropriate sitting places. When all were comfortably seated, Akrura washed their feet and sprinkled the water on his head. Then he offered nice clothing, flowers and sandalwood pulp in regular worship. All three of them were very satisfied by Akrura's behaviour. Akrura then bowed down before Krishna, putting his head on the ground. Then placing Krishna's lotus feet on his lap, Akrura gently began to massage them. When Akrura was fully satisfied in the presence of Krishna and Balaram, his eyes filled with tears of love for Krishna, and he began to offer his prayers as follows. My dear Lord Krishna and Balaram, it is very kind of you to have killed Kamsa and his associates. You have delivered the whole world, you have delivered the whole family of the Yadu dynasty from the greatest calamity. The Yadus will always remember your saving of their great dynasty. My dear Lord Krishna and Balaram, both of you are the original personalities from whom everything has emanated, the original cause of all causes. You have inconceivable energy, and you are all pervasive. There is no cause and effect, gross or subtle, but you are the Supreme Brahman, realized through the study of the Vedas. By your inconceivable energy, you are actually visible before us. You create this cosmic manifestation by your own potencies, and you enter into it yourself as the 5 material elements: earth, water, fire, air, and sky are distributed in everything manifested by different kinds of bodies. So you alone enter the various bodies created by your own energy. You enter the body as the individual soul and independently as the supersoul. It is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita that the material body is created by Krishna's inferior energy, that the living entities, the individual souls, are his part and parcels, and that the supersoul is his localized representation. Thus, while the material body, the living entity, and the supersoul constitute an individual living being, originally they are all different energies of the one Supreme Lord.
Akrura continued. In the material world, you create, maintain, and dissolve the whole manifestation by the interaction of the 3 material qualities, namely goodness, passion, and ignorance, but you are not implicated in the activities of those material qualities. For your supreme knowledge is never overcome like the knowledge of the individual living entity. The Supreme Lord enters the material cosmos and causes creation, maintains and destruction in their due course, whereas the part and parcel living entity enters the material elements and has his material body created for him. The difference between the living entity and the Lord is that the living entity is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord and has the tendency to be overcome by interaction of the material qualities. Krishna, the Para-Brahman or the Supreme Brahman, being always situated in full knowledge, is never overcome by such activities. Therefore, Krishna is called Achyuta, meaning he who never falls down. Krishna's knowledge of his spiritual identity is never overcome by material actions, whereas the minute part and parcel living entities are prone to forget their spiritual identity due to material actions.
The individual living entities are eternally part and parcel of God.
minute sparks of the original fire, Krishna. As sparks are prone to be extinguished, but not the blazing fire, so the living entities can be overcome by material activities, whereas Krishna never can. Akrura continued, less intelligent men misunderstand your transcendental form to be made of material energy, but that concept is not at all applicable to you. Actually, you are all spiritual, and there is no difference between you and your body. Therefore, there is no question of your being conditioned or liberated. You are ever liberated in any condition of life. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, only fools and rascals consider you an ordinary man. To consider your lordship one of us, conditioned by the material nature, is a mistake due to our imperfect knowledge. When people deviate from the original knowledge of the Vedas, they try to identify the ordinary living entities with your lordship, who have appeared on this earth in your original form to re-establish the real knowledge that the living entities are neither one with nor equal to the Supreme God. My dear Lord, you are always situated in the uncontaminated goodness, Shuddha Sattva. Your appearance is necessary to re-establish actual Vedic knowledge, as opposed to the atheistic philosophy which tries to establish that God and the living entities are one and the same. My dear Lord Krishna, this time you have appeared in the home of Vasudeva as his son, with your plenary expansion, Sri Balaram. Your mission is to kill all the atheistic royal families and destroy their huge military strength. You have invented yourself to minimize the burden of the world, and to fulfill this mission you have glorified the dynasty of Yadu by appearing as one of its members.
My dear Lord, today my home has been purified by your presence. I have become the most fortunate person in the world. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is worshipable by all different kinds of demigods, pitas, kings, emperors, and other living entities, and who is the super soul of everything, has come into my home. The water of his lotus feet purifies the three worlds, and now he has kindly come to my place. Who in the three worlds among factually learned men will not take shelter of your lotus feet and surrender unto you? Who, knowing well that no one can be as affectionate as you are to your devotees, is so foolish that he will decline to become your devotee? Throughout the Vedic literature, it is declared that you are the dearest friend of every living entity. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, Suridam Sarvabhutanam. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, completely capable of fulfilling the desires of your devotees. You are the real friend of everyone. In spite of giving yourself to your devotees, you are never depleted of your original potency. Your potency neither decreases nor increases in volume. My dear Lord, it is very difficult for even great mystic yogis and demigods to ascertain that your movements approach you. Yet out of your causeless mercy you have kindly consented to come to my home. This is the most auspicious moment in the journey of my material existence. By your grace only I can now understand that my home, my wife, my children, and my worldly possessions are all bonds to material existence. Please cut the knot and save me from this entanglement of false society, friendship, and love.
Lord Sri Krishna was very much pleased by Akrura's offering of prayers. With his smile captivating Akrura more and more, the Lord replied to his submissive devotional statements with the following sweet words. My dear Akrura, in spite of your submissiveness, I consider you my superior, on the level with my father and teacher and most well-wishing friend. You are therefore to be worshipped by me, and since you are my uncle, I am always to be protected by you. I desire you to maintain me, for I am one of your own children. Apart from this filial relationship, an exalted devotee like you is always to be worshipped by everyone. Anyone who desires good fortune must offer his respectful obeisances unto personalities like you, who are greater than the demigods. People worship the demigods when in need of some sense gratification, and the demigods offer benedictions to their devotees after being worshipped. But a devotee like you, Akrura, is always ready to offer people the greatest benediction. A saintly person or devotee is free to offer benedictions to everyone, whereas the demigods can offer benedictions only after being worshipped. One can take advantage of a place of pilgrimage only after going there, and worshipping a particular demigod involves waiting a long time for the fulfillment of one's desire, but saintly persons like you, my dear Akrura, can immediately fulfill all the desires of a devotee. My dear Akrura, you are always our friend and well-wisher. You are always ready to act for our welfare. Kindly, therefore, go to Hastinapura and see what arrangement has been made for the Pandavas.
Krishna was anxious to know about the sons of Pandu because at a very young age they had lost their father. Being very friendly to his devotees, Krishna was anxious to know about them, and therefore he deputed Akrura to go to Hastinapura and get information of the real situation. Krishna continued, I have heard that after King Pandu's death, his young sons, Yudhishthir, Bhima, Arjun, Nakula, and Sahadev, along with their widowed mother, have come under the charge of Dhritarashtra, who is to look after them as their guardian. But I have also heard that Dhritarashtra is not only blind from his birth, but also blind in his affection for his cruel son Duryodhana. The 5 Pandavas are the sons of King Pandu, but Dhritarashtra, due to Duryodhana's plans and designs, is not favorably disposed toward them. Kindly go there and study how Dhritarashtra is dealing with the Pandavas. On receipt of your report, I shall consider how to favor them. In this way, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, ordered Akrura to go to Hastinapura, and then he returned home accompanied by Balaram and Uddhava. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 48th chapter of Krishna. Krishna pleases his devotees. Chapter 49. Ill-motivated Dhritarashtra. Thus ordered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna Akrura visited Hastinapura, said to be the site of what is now New Delhi. The part of New Delhi still known as Indraprastha is accepted by people in general as the old capital of the Pandavas. The very name Hastinapura suggests that there were many Hastis or elephants, because the Pandavas kept many elephants in the capital. It was called Hastinapura. Keeping elephants is very expensive. To keep many elephants, therefore, the kingdom must be very rich, and Hastinapura, as Akrura saw when he wished it, was full of elephants, horses, chariots, and other opulences. The kings of Hastinapura were taken to be ruling kings of the whole world. Their fame was widely spread throughout the entire kingdom, and their administration was conducted under the good counsel of learned brahmanas.
After seeing the very opulent capital city, Akrura met King Dhritarashtra. He also saw grandfather Bhishma sitting with him. After meeting them, he went to see Vidura and then Kunti, Akrura's cousin. One after another, he saw King Bakilika, and his son Somadatta, Dronacharya, Kripacharya, Karna, and Suyodhana. Suyodhana is another name for Duryodhana. When he saw the son of Duryodhana, Ashvatthama, as well as Dronacharya, what did I say? Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana, Dronacharya. When he saw the son of Dronacharya, Ashvatthama, as well as the 5 Pandava brothers and the other friends and relatives living in the city. All those who met Akrura, known also as the son of Gandini, were very much pleased to receive him and inquire about the welfare of their respective relatives. He was could you close that door? He was offered a good seat at his receptions, and he in turn inquired all about the welfare and activities of his relatives. Since he was deputed by Lord Krishna to visit Hastinapur, it is understood that he was very intelligent in studying a diplomatic situation. Dhritarashtra was unlawfully occupying the throne after the death of King Pandu. Despite the presence of Pandu's sons, Akrura could understand very well that ill-motivated Dhritarashtra was much inclined in favor of his own sons. In fact, Dhritarashtra had already usurped the kingdom and was now intriguing to dispose of the 5 Pandava brothers. Akrura knew that all the sons of Dhritarashtra, headed by Duryodhana, were very crooked politicians. Dhritarashtra did not act in accordance with the good instructions given by Bhishma and Vidura. Instead, he was being conducted by the ill instructions of such persons as Karna and Sakuni. Akrura decided to stay in Hastinapur for a few months to study the whole political situation.
Gradually, Akrura learned from Kunti and Vidura that the sons of Dhritarashtra were intolerant and envious of the 5 Pandava brothers because of their extraordinary learning in military science and their greatly developed bodily strength. The Pandavas act as truly chivalrous heroes, exhibited all the good qualities of Kshatriyas and were a very responsible princes, always thinking of the welfare of the citizen. Akrura also learned that the envious son of Dhritarashtra had tried to kill the Pandavas by poisoning them. Akrura happened to be one of the cousins of Kunti. Therefore, after meeting him, she began to inquire about her parental relatives, thinking of her birthplace and beginning to cry. She asked Akrura whether her father, mother, brother, sisters, and other friends at home still remembered her. She especially inquired about Krishna and Balaram, her glorious nephews. She asked, does Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is very affectionate to his devotees, remember my son? Does Balaram remember us? Inside herself, Kunti felt like as she deer in the midst of tigers. And actually, her position was like that. After the death of her husband, King Pandu, she was supposed to take care of the 5 Pandavas' children, but the sons of Dhritarashtra were always planning to kill them.
You can then go there.
You can't read it. No, it's not there. No.
What?
No, I'll do over there.
I'm reading for him.
Okay. I don't approve, but go on.
Where did you stop? After the death of her husband, King Pandu, she was supposed to take care of the 5 Pandava children, but the sons of Dhritarashtra were always planning to kill them. She was certainly living like a poor, innocent animal in the midst of several tigers. Being a devotee of Lord Krishna, she always thought of him and expected that one day Krishna will come and save them from their dangerous position. She inquired from Akrura whether Krishna proposed to come to advise the fatherless Pandavas how to get free from the intrigues of Dhritarashtra and his sons. Talking with Akrura about all these affairs, she felt herself helpless and exclaimed, my dear Krishna, you are the supreme mystic, the supersoul of the universe. You are the real well-wisher of the whole universe. My dear Govinda, at this time you are far away from me, yet I pray to surrender unto your lotus feet. I am now grief-stricken with my 5 fatherless sons. I can fully understand that, but for your lotus feet there is no shelter or protection. Your lotus feet can deliver all aggrieved souls because you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One can be saved from the clutches of repeated birth and death by your mercy only. My dear Krishna, you are the Supreme Pure One, the Supersoul and the Master of all yogis. What can I say? I can simply offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Accept me as your fully surrendered devotee.
You're too good at that. That's freaky. I suddenly saw a sign and that was too good. That was
The
method.
boys are good at being girls.
Huh?
All the boys are good at being girls.
Yeah, it must be. You big girl.
Although Krishna was not present before her, Kunti offered her prayers to him as if she were in his presence face to face. This is possible for anyone following in the footsteps of Kunti. Krishna does not have to be physically present everywhere. He is actually present everywhere by spiritual potency, and one simply has to surrender unto him sincerely. When Kunti was offering her prayers very feelingly to Krishna, she could not check herself and began to cry loudly before Akrura. Vidura was also present, and both Akrura and Vidura became very sympathetic to the mother of the Pandavas and began to solace her by glorifying her 5 sons, namely Yudhishthira, Arjuna, Bhima, Nakul, and Sahadev. They pacified her, saying that her own sons were extraordinarily powerful. She should not be perturbed about them, since they were born of great demigods like Yamaraj, Indra, and Vayu. Akrura decided to return home and report on the strange circumstances in which he found Kunti and her 5 sons. At first, he wanted to give good advice to Dhritarashtra, who was so favourably inclined towards his own sons and unfavourably inclined toward the Pandavas. When King Dhritarashtra was sitting among friends and relatives, Akrura began to address him, calling him Vaichitravirya. Vaichitravirya means the son of Vichitravirya. Vichitravirya was the name of Dhritarashtra's father, but Dhritarashtra was actually the begotten son, not of Vichitravirya, but of Vyasadeva. Formerly, it was the system that if a man was unable to beget a child, his brother could beget a child in the womb of his wife, Devarena Sutopati. This system is now forbidden in this age of Kali. Akrura called Dhritarashtra Vaichitravirya sarcastically because he was not actually begotten by his father. He was a son of Vyasadeva. When a child was begotten by the wife of the husband's brother, the child was claimed by the husband. But of course the child was not begotten by the husband. This sarcastic remark pointed out that Dhritarashtra was falsely claiming the throne on hereditary grounds. Actually, Pandu had been the rightful king, and in the presence of Pandu's sons, the Pandavas, Dhritarashtra should not have occupied the throne.
Akrura said, "My dear son of Vichitravirya, you have unlawfully usurped the throne of the Pandavas. Anyway, somehow or other, you are now on the throne. Therefore, I beg to advise you to please rule the kingdom on moral and ethical principles. If you do so and try to please your subjects on that way, your name and fame will be perpetual." Akrura hinted that although Dhritarashtra was ill-threatening his nephews, the Pandavas, they happened to be his subjects. Even if you treat them not as the owners of the throne but as your subject, you should impartially think of their welfare as though they were your own sons. But if you do not follow this principle and act in just an opposite way, you will be unpopular among your subjects, and in the next life you will have to live in the hellish condition. I therefore hope you will treat your sons and the sons of Pandu equally. Akrura hinted that if Dhritarashtra did not treat the Pandavas and his sons as equals, surely there would be a fight between the two camps of cousins. Since the Pandavas' cause was just, they would come out victorious and the sons of Dhritarashtra would be killed. This was a prophecy told by Akrura to Dhritarashtra.
Akrura further advised Dhritarashtra, in this material world, no one can remain an eternal companion to another. Only by chance do we assemble together in a family, society, community, or nation. But at the end, because every one of us has to give up the body, we must be separated. One should not, therefore, be unnecessarily affectionate towards family members. Dhritarashtra's affection was also unlawful and did not show much intelligence. In plain words, Akrura hinted to Dhritarashtra that his staunch family affection was due to his gross ignorance of fact, of his blindness to moral principles. Although we appear combined together in a family, society, or nation, each of us has an individual destiny. Everyone takes birth according to individual past works. Therefore, everyone must individually enjoy or suffer the results of his own karma. There is no possibility of improving one's destiny by cooperative living. Sometimes it happens that one's father accumulates wealth by illegal ways, and the son takes away the money, although it was earned with great difficulty by the father. Just as a small fish in the ocean eats the material body of a large old fish, one ultimately cannot accumulate wealth illegally for the gratification of his family, society, community, or nation. An illustration of this principle is that many great empires which developed in the past are no longer existing. I lost my place. I lost my place. Where are we? Existing. Yeah, I lost. I coughed my brain fell out.
6 or 7 lines from the bottom.
Oh, I've got something in my throat.
An illustration of this principle is that many great empires which developed in the past are no longer existing because their wealth was squandered away by later descendants. One who does not know this subtle law of fruitive activities and who does give up the moral and ethical principles carries with him only the reactions of his sinful activities. His ill-gotten wealth and possessions are taken by someone else, and he goes to the darkest regions of hellish life. One should not therefore accumulate more wealth than allotted to him by destiny. Otherwise, he will be factually blind to his own interest. Instead, by fulfilling his self-interest, he will act in just the opposite way, for his own downfall. Akrura continued, "My dear Dhritarashtra, I beg to advise you not to be blind to the facts of material existence. Material conditions in life either is distress or in happiness, is to be accepted as a dream. One should try to bring his mind and senses under control and live peacefully for spiritual advancement in Krishna consciousness. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita is It is said that except for a person is Krishna consciousness. Everyone is always disturbed in mind and full of anxiety. Even those trying for liberation or merging into the Brahman effulgence and the yogis who try to achieve perfection in mystic power cannot have peace of mind. Pure devotees of Krishna have no demands to make of Krishna. They are simply satisfied with service to him. Actual peace and mental tranquility can be attained only in perfect Krishna consciousness. After hearing these moral instructions from Akrura, Dhritarashtra replies, "My dear Akrura, you are very charitable in giving me good instructions, but unfortunately I cannot accept them."
You finish in strange places.
But my breathing is...
When the reading stops.
A person destined to die does not utilize the effects of nectar, although it may be administered to him. I can understand that your instructions are valuable. Unfortunately, they do not stay in my flickering mind, just as the glittering lightning in the sky does not stay fixed in a cloud. I can understand only that no one can stop the onward progress of the Supreme Will. I understand that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, has appeared in the family of the Yadus to decrease the burdensome load on this earth. Dhritarashtra hinted to Akrura that he had complete faith in Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. At the same time, he was very partial to his family members. In the very near future, Krishna will vanquish all the members of his family, and in a helpless condition, Dhritarashtra will take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. To show his special favor to a devotee, Krishna usually takes away all the objects of his material affection, thus forcing the devotee to be materially helpless, with no alternative but to accept the lotus feet of Krishna. This actually happened to Dhritarashtra after the end of the battle of Kurukshetra. Dhritarashtra could realize two opposing factors acting before him. He could understand that Krishna was there to remove all the unnecessary burdens of the world. His sons were an unnecessary burden, and so he expected that they will be killed. At the same time, he could not rid himself of his unlawful affection for his sons. Understanding these two contradictory factors, he offered his respectful obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The contradictory ways of material existence are very difficult to understand. They can be taken only as the unconceivable execution of the plan of the Supreme, who, by his inconceivable energy, creates this material world and enters into it and sets into motion the three modes of nature. When everything is created, he enters into each and every living entity and into the smallest atom. No one can understand the incalculable plans of the Supreme Lord. After hearing this statement, Akrura could clearly understand that Dhritarashtra was not going to change his policy of discriminating against the Pandavas in favor of his sons. He at once took leave of his friends in Hastinapura and returned to his home in the kingdom of the Yadus. After returning home, he vividly informed Lord Krishna and Balaram of the actual situation in Hastinapura and the intentions of Dhritarashtra. Akrura was sent to Hastinapura by Krishna to study these, and by the grace of the Lord, he was successful. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 49th chapter of Krishna, ill-motivated Dhritarashtra.
Chapter 50. Krishna erects the Dwarka fort. Upon Kamsa's death, his 2 wives became widows. According to Vedic civilization, a woman is never independent. She has 3 stages of life. In childhood, a woman should live under the protection of her father. A youthful woman should live under the protection of her young husband. And in the event of the death of her husband, she should live under the protection of her grown-up sons. Or if she has no grown-up sons, she must go back to her father and live as a widow under his protection. Just as a footnote here, some of us don't have any of those things. So then we take shelter of Krishna. Yeah. It appears that Kamsa has had no grown-up sons. Therefore, after his wives became widows, they returned to the shelter of their father. Kamsa had 2 queens, Asti and Prapti, and both happened to be the daughters of King Jarasandha, the lord of the Bihar province, known in those days as Magadha. After reaching home, the 2 queens explained their awkward position following Kamsa's death. The king of Magadha, Jarasandha, was mortified on hearing of the pitiable condition of his daughters. When informed of the death of Kamsa, Jarasandha decided on the spot that he would rid the world of all the members of the Yadu dynasty. He decided that since Krishna had killed Kamsa, the whole dynasty of the Yadus should be killed. He began to make extensive arrangements to attack the kingdom of Mathura with his innumerable military phalanxes, consisting of many thousands of chariots, horses, elephants, and infantry soldiers. Jarasandha prepared 13 such military phalanxes to retaliate the death of Kamsa. Taking with him all military strength, he attacked the capital of the Yadu kings, Mathura, surrounding it from all directions. Sri Krishna, who appeared like an ordinary human being, saw the immense strength of Jarasandha, which appeared like an ocean about to cover a beach at any moment. He also perceived that the inhabitants of Mathura were overwhelmed with fear. He began to think within himself about his mission as an incarnation and how to tackle the present situation before him. He thought that since he was not going to conquer the kingdom of Magadha, to kill the king of Magadha, namely Jarasandha, was useless. His mission was to diminish the overburdening population of the whole world. Therefore, he took the opportunity to face so many men, chariots, elephants, and horses. The military strength of Jarasandha had appeared before him, and he decided to kill the entire force of Jarasandha so that he would go back and reorganize his military strength.
Good Lord. Well, what a plan going on there. No idea what happened there. Please tell us.
While Lord Krishna was thinking in that way, 2 beautiful chariots fully equipped with drivers, weapons, flags, and other paraphernalia arrived for him from outer space. Krishna saw the 2 chariots present before him and immediately addressed his elder brother Balarama, who is also known as Sankarshana. My dear elder brother, best among the Aryans, you are the lord of the universe, and specifically you are the protector of the Yadu dynasty. The members of the Yadu dynasty sense great danger before the soldiers of Jarasandha, and they are very much aggrieved. Just to give them protection, your chariot is also here, filled with weapons. I request you to sit on your chariot and kill all the soldiers, the entire military strength of the enemy. The 2 of us have descended to this earth just to annihilate such unnecessary bellicose forces and give protection to the pious devotees. So we have the opportunity to fulfill our mission. Please let us execute it. Thus Krishna and Balarama, the descendants of Dasharha, decided to annihilate the 13 military companies of Jarasandha. After equipping themselves with military dress, Krishna and Balarama mounted their chariots. Krishna rode the chariot of which Daruka was the driver. With a small army, they came out of the city of Mathura, blowing their respective conch shells. Curiously enough, although the other party was equipped with the greater military strength, when they heard the vibration of Krishna's conch shell, their hearts were shaken. When Jarasandha saw Balarama and Krishna, he was a little bit compassionate because they they happen to be related to him as grandsons. He specifically addressed Krishna as Purushandama, meaning the lowest among men. Actually, Krishna is known in all Vedic scriptures as Purushottama, the highest among men. Jarasandha has no intention of addressing Krishna as Purushottama, but great scholars have determined the true meaning of the word Purushantama to be one who makes all other personalities go downward. Actually, no one can be equal or to or greater than the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Thank you.
When we're finished, keep that because she'll wrap it up.
Oh, okay.
She's the wrapper-upper.
A wrapper-upper. Okay, thank you very much for coming. It's nice to have your association. Thank you to Srila Prabhupada for writing this wonderful book, so we can hear about Krishna and his pastimes. Haribol. Srila Prabhupada ki. So now there's going to be bhajans, and there's some Mahaprasadam for everyone. So, yeah.
John shopping.
Hare Shri Radha Gopinath Ki.
Shri Prabhupada ki jai. So we have 10 more minutes of Kirtan, everyone. My favorite year group is which year group? Year 8. Because you are the most enthusiastic in Kirtan. The Utsahan is contagious. So whatever little energy we have, whatever pizza or muffin we've had this evening, we're going to use that energy to call for the Lord's name. So we'll raise our hands in the air like we do care. Both hands. Both hands in the air like we do care. We're going to chant Gauranga! Gauranga! One more time. Gauranga! Shri Prabhupada ki! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone, Hare Krishna. Little louder. Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Little louder, can't hear. Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Little louder, you right? Really sing. Hi. All together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. One last time. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, hands in the air, hands in the air. When you dance, you must sing all together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna hands in the air, nice and high. Hare Rama, bolo bolo. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. One last time. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Gauranga. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare one last time Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Radha Gopinath ki Jagara Srila Prabhupada ki Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Avanti House Secondary School ki Radhadesh Dham ki So Prabhu would just sing the Shingadev prayers. If you kindly just take a seat. Hare Krishna.
Namaste Narasingaya Namaste Narasingaya Hare Bhagavan ki jai, Ramaraj ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan Yakya ki jai.
Guys, can you give yourselves a massive, massive round of applause, please? That completes, thank you. That completes the first day of our retreat. And what a day it was. We went in some caves, we did some exploring, and we came back here. We had some beautiful little workshops, we saw the cows, and we concluded with such a sweet kirtan. I could see some of you a little bit uncomfortable, but I'm so proud of each and every one of you for giving it a shot, for sticking it through. So thank you so much. We have a wonderful few days ahead of us, but as Mr. Gopal always says, the next day starts the night before. We need to get a good amount of rest, right? Okay, so if you are thinking about coming to the earlier artis, which are at 4:30 and 7 o'clock, please stay behind and Mr. Gopal will speak to you and he will note you down so he knows who to wake up. If you're not, we're going to ask you to quietly and respectfully get up and slowly start making your ways out. Miss Shah is going to direct the way. Thank you all so much for such a wonderful day. Shh. Guys, remember quietly. Guys, shh, shh, shh.
I'm going to be your friend. Okay. Cool.